Black women. Today we're talking about black women in the sense that who's left to really love black women. I think it's an important topic of conversation in American culture today. Really with American culture as we see it, or as we know it, I think that they focus a lot on modeling, TV personalities, this and that and the other, and they're always of lighter skin. They're always skinny. They're always, they have a certain form. And that's who society portrays to be beautiful. So from the beginning, we learn from birth, we learn to hate ourselves because we never see ourselves. We never get a chance to love ourselves. We never get a chance to love where we come from, who we come from, and who we grow up with. Because to be successful, we have to leave those behind. You know, I think in that mindset, we normally, or as men, we're looking at international females, we're looking at white females, we're looking at every other race but our own. And if we are not loving our own way, our own queens, then who is to love them? Because everybody is using them. Yes, even ourselves, I believe, as black men, we're using them for various different reasons. Don't get me wrong, whether it be sexual favors or monetary gain or position of power. I think we use them for a lot of different things, but we're not loving them. Other cultures aren't loving them, they're using them. And what is to become of that? You know what I'm saying? Who is left to love them if we don't? I think that's the question I really want to answer. How do you feel about that?
I feel like, yeah, that's very true. And when you get an understanding of who we are as a species and humanity, we all came from a black woman or a woman of color, because it's obvious with the rainbow. We're a whole plethora of different colors, whether it be the dark shade, heavy melanated people, or the very very light shaded individuals. We all came from the same color. If you were to push the rainbow together, it would become black. And all those beautiful colors, green, blue, red, all these colors came from that black color. And for us to lose our relationship with that woman is very, very, very sad, I think.
Yeah, because we lose relationships with ourselves. And as you were saying, black is the presence of all color.
Absolutely.
So it's actually a color that should represent unity. But in turn, it's actually represented as hate, or it's a derogatory color. The reason why they label black male is a negative thing. Black on black crime is a negative thing. Although, well, what is white? Is it white male? Is it white on white crime? We don't say these things. And subconsciously we view black as a negative thing. And it's actually the presence of love. It's the presence of unity.
Yeah.
And if we don't understand this and we don't come together and we don't understand who we are and who everybody is in society. I'm not saying this or presenting this question to bash any other race. That's not the goal of the situation. I'm just asking who's left to love black women. All of us are all one race, and that's the human race. So why do we neglect one race or the other?
Yeah.
Because even Asians stick with Asians, Caucasians stick with Caucasians, Hispanics stick with Hispanic, but blacks go outside the box. Like we're trying to be with everybody else. Don't get me wrong. We'll label it as we'll try and give excuses because I believe that black women do have a position to be somewhat upset about the situation that they're in because they can't find love. They go to every other race and they're being used. And then when they try and come home and be with a king of their own, I guess race, for lack of a better word, they're only used as well, even though they go into it with the mindset of thinking that, he'll actually see me as the queen that I am. We'll actually be able to create an empire, a kingdom. And that never comes about simply because we don't view them as people of beauty. We look at them as body parts or a person to control or something that is out of the scope of what black women should be, which is black, beautiful queens.
And I think that's another big reason why a lot of colorful women have wanted to, lighten their complexions and
bleaching
and the weave and the
right,
the perms and all those things. That all those things are not good for the black woman.
And it's not natural.
And it's not natural. It's not the way they were. But
it's American culture.
There you go. So ultimately, I'm here to just share with everybody, that it's okay and it's right for us to get back to that standard that we had once, loving these black women
and loving pure beauty instead of loving the color. I think we get hung up on things that aren't important. Beauty is beauty, period. And we should give more love to those in our that are standing beside us rather than trying to create a situation in which American culture would feel is better in the eyes of American culture.
Yeah. So just like, share. You listening to Two Kings, and we just trying to open some conversation and see what y'all think about this.